Eden Hedges, and welcome to AMC News in Charlotte. Stay tuned for this week's forecast and a look into a natural disaster that struck our city. And now to Mohammed.
Thank you, Aiden. I'm meteorologist Mohammed Garab, and as we see currently, the sky is mostly cloudy, with winds coming from the north at around 2 miles per hour. Today would be a great day to go outside, spend time with the family, with the temperature being around 65 degrees. So it's going to generally be a nice day outside today. In this map, we have a high pressure system located right above North Carolina, and mainly throughout the west coast of the country we see a lot of high pressure systems, and throughout up here in the north we have a low pressure system. And so what this is pretty much telling us for here in Charlotte is that we're going to pretty much have a nice day with clear skies and little to no clouds in the sky, and it's a good day to go out and just go about your day. So in the northwest coast, we see that their temperatures in the 50s, and it even gets down to 42 in Great Falls. And the more we move towards the east, temperatures begin to rise. In Dallas, it's 78 degrees. Kansas City, it's 75. Here we see that the temperature in the Carolinas, it's generally between the 60 to 70 degrees. It's even 75 degrees in Charleston. Reaches 65 degrees in Raleigh, and in our Charlotte, in the region of Charlotte, it's around the 70-degree temperature Fahrenheit. So in our infrared satellite map, we see a great deal of clouds covering the north. Up north, we see a whole lot of clouds with much cooler temperatures. But as we head down south to our region in the Carolinas, we see that we generally have much clearer skies and the temperature is not as cold. So in our Doppler radar map, we see that there's a lot of clouds towards the north, and as of now they have light to moderate rain. But down south here we have very little to no precipitation at all, and we generally have very few cloud coverage. Tomorrow's forecast, we're going to have temperatures going to be around 82 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to have winds heading south at 9 miles per hour, and it's going to be partly cloudy sky, so it shouldn't be too bad, So for tomorrow night's forecast, we're going to have winds coming from the southwest at around about 7 miles per hour, and we're going to generally have clear skies, and it's going to be around 69 degrees Fahrenheit, so generally warm evening. Okay, so now for our 5-day weather forecast. So for Friday, it's going to be very cloudy with lots of rain, and the high is going to be around the low to mid 70s, around 74, and the low is going to be in the mid 60s, around 64. For Saturday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a much lower chance of rain. The low is going to be in the low 60s, and the high is going to be around the same as it was for Friday, around 74 degrees. For Sunday, it's going to be much more clear outside. The high is going to be around the high 70s, almost maybe even the low 80s, and the low is going to drop down to 57. And for next week, Monday, it's going to be partly cloudy as well, with the high around the low 80s, around 83, and the low is going to be at around 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And for Tuesday, it's going to be very clear. We're going to have clear skies. It's going to be bright outside. It's going to be nice, with the highs at around the high upper 80s, around 88, and the low is going to be around mid to lower 60s, around 63.
Alright, now let's take a look at the disaster that struck the city of Charlotte.
What, Aiden? What started out as a regular warm September day with temperatures in the upper 80s, Charlotte teams were about to endure among the most costliest and intense hurricanes in the history of our nation.
On September 9, 1989, a deadly hurricane formed over the eastern Atlantic. It was named Hurricane Hugo. It originated from a tropical wave that moved westward off the African coast. As it moved across the warm waters of the tropical Atlantic, it gradually strengthened into a Category 5 hurricane, remaining within the north tropical latitudes. As you see, it weakened into a Category 4 just before landfall in South Carolina, but still had disastrous effects on our city of Charlotte.
So, why did thousands of residents of Charlotte evacuate the area when Hugo was predicted to make landfall? Not only was it going to bring ferocious winds and lots of flooding, the worst part actually came after the hurricane had passed. For days and days to come, for the citizens that remained in Charlotte, people were trapped inside their homes. It was very hard for anyone to get around. People had their property and other belongings damaged. Furthermore, they lost access to power and access to clean water. 85% of buildings and homes in Charlotte lost power.
Hurricanes damaged buildings, homes, roads, and urban infrastructure. In downtown Charlotte, windows were being blown from skyscrapers. Furthermore, hurricanes can also cause extreme weather such as tornadoes and severe thunderstorms. All in all, they negatively impact our cities with strong winds and flooding. From Hurricane Hugo alone, damages in NC were estimated to what is currently worth $1.9 billion in damage.
So, how did it affect the people living in the area? People were told to stock up on batteries and ice as the powerful Hurricane Hugo tore through the city of Charlotte. Many people evacuated, while others tried to hide in the lower levels of buildings.
Now let's compare Hurricane Hugo to another hurricane that devastated North Carolina.
Hurricane Fran was a Category 3 hurricane. Similar to Hugo, it originated off the western coast of Africa near Cape Verde, but never attained the magnitude of Hurricane Hugo. However, it still caused over $4.6 billion in damage and wiped out electricity for over 1 million people.
Thanks for watching.
Have a great day, Charlotte.